think I got some sort of fix with the mics, but maybe once people start popping in, they can let us know what they think. If we're a little low, I can always boost the volume, but at least we don't have like the annoying hum that I know of, or do we? What they think if we're a little low. Yeah, it's not too bad today. Sounding better. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Heather Marie. Good morning.
What's up, Jack?
Robert Baby Boy Jeffries. Everyone say hi in the comments. We appreciate you guys. Mash some like buttons.
You know all these people in the comments.
They're coming in. What's up, DJ Stenny? Hey, Christelle.
Hey,
Good
Christelle.
morning, everybody. We have a cool show today, and
What's up, DJ? DJ Stenny.
We're actually going to have Grant Smith on today. He'll be up first.
Granny Grant.
Mm-hmm. And then we're also having Julie Gadapee, who's coming on. And among other things, she's NECAN's nominee for Vermont Activist of the Year, which is cool.
Heather.
She's also a caregiver, and she's the founder and owner of a business called Twisted Sister, which sounds pretty cool.
Twisted Sister.
DJ Stenny, what do you mean hi in the comments? Oh, hi in the comments. I think I got you now. And then we're also going to have Katree, I think her middle name's pronounced Darriel, but Katree Darriel Saunders. And she's an activist out on the West Coast. And she's going to come on and tell us what's good. As some of you may... Oh, does she? She makes good munchies. That's cool, Jack. I didn't realize you knew her. Yeah, so we're gonna have a cool show today. And if Julie, if you're watching, we're gonna have Grant Smith on first, and we're gonna get to Julie. We're gonna get to Grant in about 5 minutes or so, and then we're gonna get to Julie next, about 15 minutes later. Grant's gonna come on and talk about some regulatory stuff. And Julie, if you're watching, I apologize that we're running a few minutes late, but we're gonna have a good show today. What's going on, Christy? Good morning. Oh, by the way, if we look at this thing, people at home can't see it, but look at this. It's all like back to normal. Look, you now have the ability to like mute people. We can pin the comments again.
Who wants to be muted? Who volunteers tribute?
Come at him, bro.
I need the first candidate.
So yeah, Grant's going to come on because a lot of stuff happened yesterday in Massachusetts with the Cannabis Control Commission. They went over quite a few things, and I thought I had it up here on my screen, but Grant did some extensive coverage yesterday.
Good morning, Trish. How you doing?
And it included like discussions around like economic empowerment, applicants, and equity that they can give up and not give up, and
Grandmaster Grant.
yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, that's what I should change that to. So look, I have this title. Where is it? I think it's here. See this one? This just needs to say Grand Master Grant.
I had food this morning. I did. I had a bagel and a banana. Hey, what's up, Ruben? Long time no see, my man. Where you been?
I like this one better. The Notorious GMG. So yeah, I'm psyched about. And by the way,
I am doing amazing today. That's
what's up, Trish?
great,
What's up, Ruben?
Glad you're doing amazing.
Yeah, Ruben with his new shirt. Ruben, send us a picture of you in the shirt.
To doing what?
Ruben got his new Good Morning Shut-In shirt.
Hey, you know, people could take that clip and edit it how they want. Just letting you know.
Send us a pic of you in the shirt.
See, people could take that clip and then just
add it to whatever they want.
And be like, look, and they might just take the sound of it and record it and be like, look what Mike sent me. And then it's like, send me a pic without a shirt.
It's pretty crazy what people can do these days.
Yeah, so you just need to add something to the end of that says, it's just like when you're writing a tip, you got to put the little line at the end. Otherwise, they can just keep adding numbers and move that decimal point. Now you screwed. See, people don't even know that. When you're writing in the tip, put a line at the end, then you put a line at the end of the total. Yeah. I learned that. Because I used to never give tips. So once you learn how to give tips, you learn everything about giving tips.
And just meaning, like, there was a point in your life where you hadn't been exposed to that yet, so you had to figure that out.
Yeah, so sorry I didn't grow up like everybody else did, where they had somebody in their life that can explain to them a lot of things that need to be explained when you get to college. And one of them things for me was tips. I didn't know nothing about no damn tip. I didn't know that you were supposed to give extra money on top of paying for your meal. I thought that's what taxes was, but then it was like, no, you got to pay taxes plus a tip. So I didn't know about the tip until I got to college. And so when I was in college, I got a girlfriend. Who parents made a lot of money, and so they tipped a lot and exposed her to tipping. So when she met me and we went out to eat, and I think I'm baller man because I'm paying for the meal, I ain't pay a tip. And she got mad, disappointed that I didn't pay a tip. And I'm like, why are you so disappointed? I just paid for this whole meal. She's like, you didn't pay a tip. I'm like, why would I pay a tip? And she's like, you should pay a tip. So I paid a tip, but I didn't know how much to tip, so she tipped. She wrote it down, and then we talked about what tipping was, and she exposed me to tipping, and then I went out to eat with her parents, and she told her dad that I didn't tip. So her dad was like, hey, you want a tip? You want to pay for the tip? And then I looked at her like, what the fuck? Why would you tell your dad that I didn't know nothing about tipping?
Dad, guess what?
Yeah. So yeah, that's my story of how I learned to tip at the age of 19 years old. I didn't get a driver's license till I was 19 either. Don't mean I wasn't whipping the whip. I just didn't have a license. And we call that riding dirty.
I wonder if any of these things still work. Let's see what this does. Yeah, nothing. I don't have a notification for that up. I should put up a notification somewhere. I gotta figure out somewhere.
Somebody just knocked on the door.
Oh, noise outside.
Somebody did knock on the door downstairs.
Oh, well, speaking of tipping.
That's going to be my thing.
Bloop.
Wait, didn't I say I was going to have a new share thing today? Because yesterday was thinking of Oscar, or that was the other day. That was the day before. Damn, I don't remember what I said. What did I say? Something about something. Well, maybe I'll talk about I'll say in a share today about tipping. I'll say like, comment, and shares because I told my story about my first time tipping.
Didn't mean to do that. I hope we're. No, I was clicking on something, and all of a sudden everything just sort of disappeared. So I'm happy that we're that we're still in the air. Christy says, "Good tipping story, Eric."
Yes, it's a true story based on live events with people that don't exist now.
In just a couple minutes, we're going to have Grant Smith on after that, and we're always excited for Grant to come on. And after that, we're going to have Julie Gadapee come on. And who knows, maybe this is going to look... I don't see anything yet. Oh. What's going on, Grant?
Good morning, gentlemen.
What it do, Grandmaster Grant? Skedaddle.
It's the notorious GM, the notorious GMG, Grandmaster Grant. We're so lucky that every Saturday, Grant still agrees to come back on the show and give us an update about what's been going on in the Massachusetts cannabis regulatory and big ass feet. And, regulatory.
Y'all see the abuse that I go through on camera, right?
He
I
literally
moved my leg.
he almost just like wiped the table clean by
I
crossing
was
his legs.
stretching.
It's like-
and then he assaults me verbally.
Can
I don't understand why I have to be assaulted verbally on camera.
I'm gonna do Grant some
just
justice here. So
Doesn't
Grant,
make any sense, Grant. I don't understand. Do you get assaulted verbally by your the guys you work with? Because
you better say no, Grant.
I'm just in my house alone most of the time, thankfully. I guess I probably work better that way.
yeah, I think I should just start my own.
Your own streaming.
Yeah, because. Well, I'm just saying because is when you're an assistant to somebody, then they give you that when they give you a label, then that means they can it can make them have a little more power to you. So then they feel they can do whatever they want to you. And so when he called me the assistant that one day a long time ago, it was probably episode around 30-ish, where he started to get a little comfortable with the environment and started to realize that he does all the work. So then he was like, yo, Eric, the assistant, and slipped up. So in his head, clearly he was thinking, yo, this is my assistant. And so now it's just become, now that we're double those episodes, now he's starting to really show who he is on camera. And what you guys don't see off camera is a little bit worse. So...
Well, you're far from an assistant in my eyes, Eric.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, Grant, because, it's hard working in a place where you don't feel appreciated. And, you try to go to the HR department, but when the HR department is the boss, it's kind of makes it rough to complain. You got to just wake up every day. And even though I'm an assistant for free, it's quite a job, It's rough on me sometimes.
Cassandra joined us. Thanks, Cassandra. We appreciate it. So, Grant, thank you so much for
Change the subject.
Thank you. And by the way, you might not have noticed this. I was watching Grant fix his title live while we started, and so because Grant, I do some funky stuff with cropping in Zoom, so I actually recropped you. So this way, your full title would show up exactly the way that exactly the way that Grant intended.
Oh, thank you. You didn't have to do that. I know you guys have your very cool setup there, so I was trying to be helpful. But thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Well, I can see the effort that you put into stuff. Although I will say that today you don't have the sort of like the cool shooting star background going on behind you.
It's there. I just stretched out the video camera so that there's only a little of the blue stars.
Oh, all right. I got you. I'll have to. I'm gonna rethink my cropping when you come in because I like your creativity. So Grant, a lot has been going on in the last week. You actually came out with a great article yesterday. We're gonna find it and we're gonna paste it into the comments and pin it so that folks can read your full review of this CCC meeting that happened yesterday here in Massachusetts, where there was a sort of a lot of like things going on relating to economic empowerment and some other hot issues. So if it's okay with you, maybe you can lay it on us and give us the update.
Yeah, sure. So you're correct. This was the beginning of the Cannabis Control Commission's regulatory revision process. And I think a lot of folks will probably know, what the Cannabis Control Commission is, but one of their primary duties, the 4 commissioners, it's normally 5, but Kate Doyle just resigned. The commissioners, what they do every once in a while, once a year, maybe once every 2 years, is they go through their existing regulations for adult use cannabis and medical use cannabis, which, if anyone's interested, are respectively 935 CMR 500.000 and 935 CMR 500.100. And those regulations respectively deal with everything from economic empowerment to licensing to agent registration, which is employees of the dispensaries or other marijuana businesses, to testing standards, to financial hardship programs for medical patients and otherwise. And yesterday, what the commission did was have what's called a policy discussion. And the intent of this policy discussion is basically to frame the thinking of the commission for the employees, the commission staff, who are helping them to draft proposed regulatory changes that will become finalized for the public to comment on in July. So yesterday's 4-hour-long hearing, which you can find live streamed on the Young Jerks if you're interested in watching it, was about 17 different items that they're thinking about for these proposed regulatory changes in July. Now, these 17 items are not an exhaustive list of everything that's going to be covered. We're going to find out more items that will be covered in July. But some of the big ones from yesterday were, one, social equity program participants, which is a program for each year, a certain number of people can apply to get a special designation called social equity that gives them a priority review status when applying to open an adult use business in the cannabis industry. It gives them access to training and educational materials that the commission provides through in-person lecture series and otherwise. So right now, to benefit from those priority benefits as a social equity program participant, you only need to own 10% of your company. But if you're an economic empowerment applicant, which is another program for communities disproportionately harmed by the war on drugs to have a pathway to ownership for adult use cannabis, you need to own 51% of your company. So the first big change that was discussed was the potential of requiring that 51% ownership to extend to social equity program participants as well. So that was one thing. The second really interesting change that came up is the commission's thinking about a way to create a universal standard for what documents the commission will accept to verify patient financial hardship status. So medical cannabis patients can go to dispensaries, and they have the ability at some dispensaries to get a 5 to 10% discount for their medical if they have a financial hardship, which means being under 300% of the poverty guideline, the federal poverty guideline, about $36,000 a year, maybe a little more, depending on the size of your family. And right now, every dispensary accepts different forms of proof to verify that financial hardship. And some even require forms of verification that are very difficult to obtain, like a letter from Mass Health and things like that. So what the commission's thinking about in that sense, thanks in particular to the trailblazing work of activists like Joanna Varner and Chandra Batra, is universalizing the documents that will be accepted for proof of financial hardship at the dispensaries, And then also making that process internal to the commission, so the patients don't have to give their sensitive financial documents to these corporate dispensaries. And then the third change out of 4 was related to economic empowerment. And this is actually really interesting, especially for folks who follow the discussion surrounding economic empowerment closely. You might remember I was on the show a few months ago, right around May 7th, when we were talking about the ownership requirement threshold for economic empowerment applicants. And as I was just saying, it is 51% ownership. But the commission pointed out there's actually this interesting sort of breakdown in the way the economic empowerment program works. To qualify for that program, participants had to meet one of 6 enumerated criteria when the window was open back in 2018. However, 3 of those criteria are just based on who the company applying for the equity status was promising to hire, rather than reflecting ownership by a person who's from what's called a target community, that being a community disproportionately impacted by the racist drug war. And so at the meeting on Friday, the commission started thinking about a structure where EE applicants who do not meet one of the what's called equity-based criteria, so actually having ownership by someone from a targeted community, would lose their equity status. And then they went one step further and they talked about how equity applicants, if they were going to adopt that structure, requiring equity applicants to meet one of the equity-based criteria, should they reduce the ownership threshold in that case to 33% ownership instead of 51%. Now, folks might remember any push to lower the ownership threshold between 51% was causing some blowback from folks like Dominique Garner, Chauncey Spencer, who I know you've had on the show, and others. Because what they feel is that by any reduction in the ownership threshold below 51% facilitates a race to the bottom, where they feel investors will say, well, if a company is going to give me up to 70% and you want to only give me 49%, why would I invest with you when I could just go to the equity company that will give me 70%? So anyway, the commission proposed this, and it couldn't even get off the ground because immediately 2 of the commissioners said, we should not go below 51%. That is not a good idea. And so basically where we're at now for EE applicants is not only do they have to satisfy one of the equity-based criteria, but they have to maintain 51% ownership. And that is crucial to making sure that predatory vulture capitalist interests are not undermining equity to create straw man owners to abuse the license limits. So that was really important.
And Grant, is there anything that can be done around the like shelving agreements and other ways that certain management companies are getting around the equity limitations with Massachusetts cannabis companies?
Yeah, of course. Thanks to the due diligence of the Cannabis Control Commission, in particular, folks like Commissioner Shalene Title, Commissioner Britta McBride, Commissioner Hoffman, there is very much a constant oversight of those type of management agreements. Now, and I just was posting the link to a Boston Globe article in the comments that talks a little bit about how the commission catches these people. But in essence, what you're asking is, if a company wants to violate the license limits, which means if they want to own more licenses for cannabis companies than the state allows, what they sometimes try to do is go to equity applicants or others and say, hey, don't write us as the owner of your company on paper, but sign these contracts with us where you have to buy all of your cannabis from us and where we are in essence owners of your company in all but name. And the commission over the past few months has stepped up its enforcement of those of rules related to those contracts. And if they catch companies trying to do that, they actually make it clear to those companies that that business model will not be acceptable. And as a result, giant corporations, big cannabis companies like Acreage Holdings, which is run by a guy named John Boehner, who used to be the Speaker of the House on the federal level. He was very anti-cannabis, funny enough. But it's led to a situation where those companies have been having to pull up and leave Massachusetts because the commission will not let them engage in that kind of subversive attempt to manipulate the ownership limits.
And that's excellent because I know that seems like it has been a problem that's sort of been percolating where you know that seemed to be an easy loophole that some folks were starting to enjoy here in Massachusetts.
Oh, there's one more thing I should mention. Two things, actually. One is there was one really important regulatory proposal that was brought up that I forgot to mention before, which is the Commission's also thinking about mandating that cannabis companies of all kinds have internal policies that spell out their whistleblower protection and their code of ethical conduct policy. And what that means is that right now, cannabis companies, there are reports that some of them are retaliating against employees who go to the Cannabis Commission with reports of things like unsafe working conditions, violations of testing standards, or union busting or otherwise. Some of them are getting retaliated against. And so the Commission actually publicly said yesterday they want to be very clear that employees of cannabis companies should feel welcome to come to the Commission at any time, and that any retaliation against an employee for whistleblowing would be taken very seriously by the Commission.
So Grant, what are some of the next steps that we're looking toward in terms of the four main points? What can we expect over the coming weeks?
So folks will want to pay very close attention in July, and I'll make sure to provide you and the audience with an update at that point. Mid to late July, the Commission will formally promulgate its proposed draft regulations. And at that point, not only will we get the full actual perspective on what they're proposing in all of the subject areas, not just the initial 17 that were on the hearing that were covered yesterday. Not only will we get that full packet of information, we'll also then be able to participate in a public comment session specifically about public feedback related to the proposed draft regulations. So as we get closer to that point, and once the dates start coming out regarding that public comment session, I'll be sure to perhaps continue, obviously, to come back and cover in depth the specific regulation changes that folks may want to write into the Commission, or perhaps even testify virtually to the Commission about in July or August.
Well, excellent. Grant, we appreciate you coming to hang out with us. We want to respect your time today. We do encourage everyone to check out the links that you shared, including the article that you had written yesterday over at, and forgive me, remind us of the, it's midnightmass.
Substack.com.
Substack.com, forgive me.
Yeah, and I will say, last week one of your viewers had a question in the comments section that I missed. I believe it was Rebecca. She asked for an update on the Cambridge situation, and I also put out a piece on Midnight Mass this week. It's been a very busy week, as you can see, clearing up some of the confusion that I think had gotten out there about that priority period in Cambridge. And to give folks just a very, very basic fundamental overview, the situation in Cambridge boils down to a simple question. Can cities and towns like Cambridge have priority periods when giving out local licenses for cannabis for just economic empowerment applicants if those priority periods do not include medical dispensaries? Now, as of now, the answer to that question is yes, they can. However, medical dispensaries like Rev Clinics, Sierra, and otherwise, Sierra is owned by a multi-state operator, Rev Clinics owned by a local consortium, including this wealthy real estate group from Andover. Both of those medical dispensaries do not want a precedent set that other cities and towns, in my opinion, around the
Oh, did we lose you, Grant? Hello?
course. Oh, I'm still here, Michael. Sorry, might have been an internet hiccup.
Oh, good, you're back now.
Yes, so I just wanted to quickly say that the situation in Cambridge boils down to this fundamental question of, can local cities and towns have equity priority periods that exclude medical dispensaries, right? So Revolutionary Clinics is suing Cambridge to try to stop cities and towns across the Commonwealth, in my opinion, from having those equity priority periods. As a result, they did get a ruling in January stopping the priority period, But in April, on the 24th of April, they got a ruling, the city of Cambridge got a ruling from the appeals court, which ruled the priority period could be enforced. So as things stand, Cambridge has a priority period for 2 years for adult use cannabis licensing that only extends to economic empowerment applicants and does not include medical dispensaries. And based on the single justice ruling, other cities and towns across the Commonwealth could also have such a period. So just to clarify that for folks, I appreciate the time to be able to weigh in on that.
No, of course, and we love you coming on, Grant. I think a lot of folks enjoy being able to see you at sort of like the non-young jerk standard times that you're often coming on. So we love you coming on Saturdays, and we hope it keeps happening for a long time.
Yes, sure thing, and thank you for indulging my perhaps over-caffeinated rants today, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next week.
Great. The notorious GMG, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Grant.
We appreciate you, and we still need to talk offline about ice cream.
All right, see you guys.
All right, thanks, Grant. Grant Smith, always a pleasure. So I think that because, well, I don't know why but we got a message, and Julie Gadapee is not going to be able to join us today, which is totally, why does that keep doing that? Which is totally, you know, whatever, if she's got some, yeah, that's weird. I'm just trying to edit this thing. I'm just trying to edit the title and description and stuff. And it's just acting strange. Let's try this. So anyway, we're not now we're just going to be waiting for our next guest, which is going to be at 11:15. And we're not running late anymore.
11:15.
Yeah, we got about 20 minutes.
Dang.
20 minutes to talk about whatever.
20 minutes. Who got something to discuss? Gotta talk about some disruptive topics. Thank you, Grant, for the update I was writing. What's up, Jordan? Good to see you, man. Sorry about that. Internet seemed to go down. Thanks for having me on. Thanks, Grant. Much appreciated.
Oh no, Grant, you're
Much appreciated.
it was all good, Grant.
Welcome on.
As usual, Grant is the epitome of class and grace. I am just
20
I'm
minutes.
just finishing this up over here. Just
How
fixing the
about
title and
Eric's
description.
birthday party?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What are we talking about?
Well, we kind of know a date now, right? So we can update people with a date, because it's a better date now. I just updated the title and description on the show for the first time ever in the middle of a show, which is awesome. Oh, hey, Julie. Okay, I don't know, maybe I'm confused.
It says, do high schoolers these days even know what UV blue is? Do they just drink seltzers now? Honestly.
I can totally
unfair, and I feel cheated.
I'm totally going to redo the title and description now.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, I guess Julie just commented in the live comments of the show that she said that she's good to go.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I thought we had gotten a message that she wasn't going to be able to come in.
Yeah, y'all know what UV blue is? Yeah, that's probably, I used to drink UV blue just because it was blue. Just like you eat Blue Jolly Ranchers over any other color. And let me tell you, UV blue is nasty. Nasty. UV blue, $10 vodka. The handle, was it Barton's or McCormick's vodka? And you used to get like a whole handle for $10. Yo, tell you, I lived off of that my freshman year. That, and then also some Sky vodka. That was like my end of freshman year. That's when I started, like, you know, getting settled in. Was like, let me upgrade my alcohol a little bit. Rubinoff. Hell yeah. Date for what? They're talking about my birthday, I'm guessing. Adam Dalton. Yo, how's it going, guys? What's up? Hey, so Adam Dalton. Adam is the dude in the comments, Adam Dalton. He be playing Battlefield with me. He play video games with me. And he's from Australia. So we got somebody from Australia in the comments. He be playing Battlefield with me. I told him to watch the show. So y'all say what's up to Adam Dalton.
What's up, Adam?
He's Australian. And he got a funny accent.
You also happen to play with a lady who's 49 years old.
Yeah, she's
in the UK.
Well, you gotta put her age out there.
Because I think it's amazing. It's amazing.
Now, what's Adam is gonna tell her? She gonna be feeling offended. She from the UK, so they have like the accents too. I talk to all people from like not the US. It's kind of funny. You getting a new Xbox? No, Jordan, absolutely not. We do not play Xbox around here. Or Adam is from the UK, I'm sorry.
Hey, Julie, there's, Julie, in your lower left-hand corner of your screen, if you tap, there's a thing that says audio, and you should be able to activate the audio. It'll say choose internet audio. And if you choose that, it should open up the microphone on your phone so that we can hear you.
Jordan, yeah, we don't play Xbox, my brother. We PlayStation guys around here. We don't do the I call them shit box. We don't play shit box around here. Xbox is just not as good as PlayStation. I mean, it's just facts. They came out later. PlayStation came out in the 90s. For all you 90s babies, you know what's up. PlayStation. You had the Crash Bandicoot original. That's a Twister Metal original. Them was all like the first CD games that you was addicted to. Xbox didn't come out to what, 2003? Nah, Xbox ain't finna be no sponsor, Willie. Heck no.
Hold on 1 second, Eric. Hey, Julie, can you try talking and see if we can hear you? Let's see 1 second here. I know it was just working with Grant. Let's see if there's something we can do here.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah, see, I told you, yeah. It was definitely, Xbox did come in 2003. That's style, we can't, that's not for us, my man. Jordan, you need to like, understand, Xbox is not for us. Xbox is for like the younger guys. That's this crazy generation guys. But going from N64 to Xbox was a smooth transition controller wise. And I hear you. I hear everything you saying, Jordan. And it sounds like it makes sense. Like N64 did have a strange controller, and Xbox did continue that tradition. And I can see why you can compare those two, but let me tell you, Xbox ain't got the only classic Xbox have is Halo. I'll give Xbox that. Halo was an original classic. But after Halo, I mean, they ain't really go nowhere after that. Halo was it for them. And Nintendo 64 has some real hits now. Nintendo 64 had, Mario Kart. That's number one. Super Smash Bros. Donkey Kong 64. It had, N64 had some hits, but Xbox ain't really have hits like that. So, but I see the transition, but you just need to go on and make the transition to PlayStation, man. It's It's not. Xbox ain't holding up. Look, I'm gonna just say this: if you really want to think that Xbox is better, just go online and type in Xbox. Type in top 10 best-selling consoles ever, and I guarantee you, you might see Xbox, the first one. You might see the first one on the list, but let me tell you, before you even get to the first one, you're gonna see all the PlayStations. Hey, I just had to do this I had to send reality to somebody else, Jordan. I ain't really want to have to do this. I was talking all this talk to lead you up to doing your research, and I know you love doing research, and numbers is your thing, Jordan. So let me tell you, you're gonna be real disappointed when you look these numbers up, and it will humble you. It will. I am not making that argument. I am just committed to the brand. I am a lawyer. Okay. I applaud that because, you know, it's a lot of people out there that like to drink, Fiji water and the good waters, and then there's people that like to drink, what is it called? What's that water called? The water, the funny tasting water, the other water brands, you know. So it's
Dalsani.
Dalsani. There you go. So, you know, PlayStation is like, you know, what's that black bottle? The black bottle with the tall. Hey, that good water. You know, that's PlayStation. And then, you know, Xboxes. Idor 2 created black-owned gaming system in a. And Jordan, that's, you know, Soulja Boy did that, but his didn't blow up as hot as it should have. We can try to make a black-owned gaming console. That's just a lot of work, Jordan. We need some. We got to come up because I'm telling you, like, you know, competing with PlayStation gonna be hard, my brother. You know, PlayStation did thing. You know, I'm loyal to PlayStation only because, you know, they had, you know, a couple hits that I like. You know, Midnight Club. If you play anybody who owned a PlayStation 2, which was the top selling console ever, at like 144 million, something crazy like that. Everybody played Midnight Club. Midnight Club was a classic. I remember, you know, upgrading my cars. Hey, the Need for Speed was another one. Oh, Need for Speed, don't talk. Burnout, oh my God. Who remember playing Burnout? Burnout was a hit too. Burnout was like the part of the game Burnout was like the part of car games that you wanted to see. Was like the crashing part. And so you play Burnout, you get to see all the crashes. I have a place, exactly. See, Jenny's from my high school, I think. Hi, Jen. Yeah, exactly, Jordan. GTA was another classic. Especially, you know which one I'm finna say. Grand Theft Auto, I can't even think of it now. I just hit a wall. The ones with the games. You already know. The ones with the game. What was it, the Grove Street? That was the hardest GTA. That was the hardest GTA. When I played that Grand Theft Auto, I was like, yeah, there's no other game that's gonna be better than Grand Theft Auto forever. Grand Theft Auto is always a game you can go back to and just relive a childhood of just sitting down with your friends and being mad destructive. My game was Crash, racing game, Crash. I don't think I played that one. Paperboy will be my forever favorite. Paperboy? What? Is that on PlayStation? I might have to look that up. I don't remember no Paperboy. Paperboy. Yes, sir. Hi.
So I actually messed up, and it wasn't Julie Gadapee that said that she couldn't come on Heather had sent me a message. It was the second guest that said that she couldn't come on. So Julie could, and then Julie was trying to come in on Zoom, but Julie's having some connectivity problems. So we might try with Messenger. I'm just trying to message her right now. And then I was having fun trying to like update the title and description
My bad.
of the show.
Jordan, I wouldn't be trying to listen, type, and ride a bike at the same time. If I was you, I would just listen, and then when you're done riding, come finish your thoughts.
Sarah, what's your favorite Nintendo game?
You're too young. Hey, Sarah, don't be calling out. We talking. You don't know how old I am. You don't know my age. You don't know what year I was born. Maybe you do, because you can look it up, which is mad annoying. You can look up my information. I'm still disappointed in that. Yeah, I don't like having a Wikipedia page. People think that stuff is cool. It's not. Nice, Jordan. I'm always in the corner of the screen, and you can see my big old head. I got a big old head. I don't like looking at myself. Smash buttons for mice work with tech people. Ain't nobody finna be smashing a button.
Nope.
Here, I'll get on and smash it.
Yeah,
I just started smashing, hooking Mike up.
So Super Mario Brothers, like the original, like, wait. So Super Mario, like 1 or 2 or 3?
Super Mario Brothers is every single one is tight.
You know what I like though?
Every Mario game is tight besides a few of them. It's a few games where Mario was like, hey, I'm just throwing these. It's just like making hit songs. You know, when you make an album, you got to have like the singles hit, but then you also got to have those, you know, them radio hits, the throwaways, you know, the ones to fill up the album. So, you know, it was a lot of good Mario games, but then it was a lot of games where you was just like, okay, Mario just trying to stay relevant until they come up with a banger, you know, and that's what they did. But they came out with some super bangers back to back. You know, you hit the Mario Kart and then the Super Smash. I was like, ho, you can't do that to us now. You stressing us. You got to be good at what you got to be good at both now. But you know, some time went by and now I'm good at both. I'm the best. You know. I don't know if I've lost a Mario game, and I definitely don't know if I've lost a Super Smash Brothers game, so. Mike is trying to like eat a banana comfortably on camera.
Off camera, right?
Yeah, because you know, if he eat the banana on camera,
Someone's gonna.
You're not supposed to, look at, when you eat a banana, you gotta break and then eat. You gotta use 2 hands. I mean, in terms of like, whoa, let me stop. Now I'm stressed.
That's why he hasn't eaten his banana. It says bagels and bananas under my thing for today.
Bagels and bananas. And bananas.
Which I thought is great because it's also like
with my banana.
And also like there's the vague sexual connotations of like a banana and a bagel. I thought it was cute. But
There's
no one really picked up on it.
George said, too late, I already saw your body.
Yeah, bagels and bananas. That we should have like instead of like
oh lordy.
Instead of like cars and coffee or whatever they call it, like we should do bagels and bananas. It'll be like a new breakfast club.
I'm definitely cool on that.
Maybe that's the only way we can actually start getting breakfast.
I'm definitely cool on that.
Is to start a breakfast club, and people can like.
Definitely cool on any show called Bagels and Bananas, because I don't know, just the thought. Okay, look it. Just think about a bagel in your head, and then think about a banana in your head. Okay. And then you think bagels and bananas, okay? I'm just saying, a bagel is round with a hole in it, and banana is long. All right, look, let me just say, bagels and bananas does not sound like it should be a good. Now, that does sound like a good podcast talk for the Kink Master we had on, or the lady that does the cannabis sex thing. But let me just say, if I'm going to be a part of a show called Bagels and Bananas, my co-host better be a woman. So we can just get this correct. Because if I'm doing a show called Bagels and Bananas and my co-host is a man, this is very...
Jordan says the things that make you gay is being gay.
No, and Jordan, look at my Jordan, my older brother.
I actually think it's funny. I don't really have a problem eating a banana.
Look at my oldest brother is gay, and then my oldest cousin is gay. So I'm not. I've been around it. I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to be around it, and I don't judge at all. Never did, never will. There's also players that's been on my football teams who felt that way. So I'm not, but we're talking about the bagels and bananas thing because I'm just saying, for my preference, if I was to come up with a show, Jordan, this is what I'm saying. If I was to come up with a show and the show was about cannabis and stuff, then I'm going to call it something with cannabis. But if I'm going to come up with a show that's about sexual activities, then Bagels and Bananas would be a show that I come up with. That would be a good show to call. To be funny, but then to be relevant and be funny, but then also let people know, if you're gonna join our show, this is what we talk about: bagels and bananas. You feel me? That's where I was going to. Now, once you add bagels and bananas with cream cheese, or I'm sorry. I am trying to keep up. I respect your preference on show titles. I'm speaking with issues with eating a banana. Oh, bro, I don't care about eating no banana. Look at Jordan. I don't care about eating no banana. Look, I'm not. Look, we not.
He's like, damn, I almost was ready to peel that banana and eat it, but not quite there yet.
I know what you talk about, Jordan. I'm not. It's nothing like that, my man. I promise. We was just saying that as a joke. Like, I eat a banana in front of anybody. I don't care. I'm scared of that. Now, Mike, on the other hand, just don't like eating on camera. Data doesn't lie. It tells a story. You right. You right. It is one of them things that we do look at as something being bad, and we do joke about that we shouldn't joke about. But bananas are yummy, Heather.
I think DJ Senny
Evolution. I see Michael doing it.
Yeah, I'm over halfway through my banana.
There, go ahead, finish it.
I like to look my banana in the eye. What are you? I respect.
See, now you finna have Jordan ride his bike here and get on camera and get to talking. You better quit.
I respect you, banana.
Hey.
I respect you.
Jordan, yo, if you ride your bike here and come smack him, bro, I will not stop you. He is trying to activate you. he is trying his hardest to be.
No, I'm really not.
I looked at the banana in the eye.
And the comments went completely silent except for Jordan. Jordan's like,
I know, right?
everyone else is like, I don't want to touch any of this right now.
I don't believe in violence. Hey, Jordan, everybody, hey, look, violence comes natural to everybody. Everybody think about violence. You may not believe in it, but you thought about it. Somebody done pushed you there before. I prefer mental sparring. Okay, I've never heard of that.
Because he knows he can win every time.
That's true. I thought it was funny. We have some funny shows. Hey, so did y'all notice that the statue moved? No? Nobody noticed that? Okay.
It seemed like crooked.
You said, why is it crooked? Nobody touched it.
It's funny watching this in delay. No, but it's like crooked. And the camera's crooked.
No, it's not you're not understanding.
The
It's
stuff that bugs me out. Look, it's even there. In this one, it's like...
Hey, look at it. Let me tell you, it's not, you know who's moving stuff. It's not us.
Oh, my God.
We aren't moving things.
Why is there a hum again?
I have evolved to understand that in the age of, there's a hum. There is a hum. I have to understand that in the age of humedics, we need nonviolent communication. That is true. We do need nonviolent communication, but there's a lot of people who don't believe in that nonviolence, that there's people that believe that violence is that. I seriously hate technology. Well, Heather, the thing about technology is it doesn't have feelings. Yes, for about 5 minutes now, humming sound. I told y'all, look, when we started talking about that dang statue, look what happened. It's like, hey, you mentioned me, welcome back. I guarantee you, if you move the statue in the room, it'll stop.
It's this mic.
Somebody said perfect mic. It says bars when it does it. Well, I mean, I'm sure the technology hears you. Whatever you just did, then it came back. I agree, and God bless those people who are okay with violence. I understand their role in that revolution. I am just comfortable walking in the footsteps of my brothers. Walking in the footsteps of my brothers.
Use this one instead.
One of the mics is messed up. We gotta fix it. So that means right now I have to play Eric and Michael Dube. This is the Eric and Mike show. We call it Disrupt America. Once again, everything was going fine until we mentioned the statue, and then boom, shit started messing up. Now, if this becomes a pattern, just understand that that's the reason. Has nothing to do with anything else.
I think it's one of those things where I'm using a banana, eating a banana, and then all of a sudden, now I have to hold a mic. Some sort of karma going on. Fix your stuff too. You can clip that on if you want.
Oh yeah, no, I need to get up and start rolling up because I'm coming to the end of the show, right?
Pretty
Or
much,
do we have
guests? We don't have any guests.
I was about to say, because if we got a guest, then shoot.
Because our first guest, God bless her, she was having some difficulties, and I think she was just kind of like, yeah, the heck with this. And the second guest, for some reason, wrote to us and said that she was going to be unable to make it.
Unable to make
Sometimes I think people get freaked out with the name of the show. I think there's some people that like are like disrupt America.
They gonna be on there talking shit about us.
You guys are gonna be disrupting all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we gonna be getting your ass to say. No, I'm not gonna go there.
Jordan, you want to come on and sing out with us?
Oh no, Jordan, will you remember the words? Is the real question.
Well, but I will. So Heather mentioned, I was just making sure there's no hum, and that's weird, by the way. There was literally no hum all show, and then all of a sudden there was a hum.
We mentioned the what?
And it was just your mic.
We
and
mentioned
maybe
the what?
you shouldn't mention anything. I'm just kidding.
Are you afraid to admit that the statue was the reason why, or are you really like trying to deny? And that's what happens once one person, when they're in denial, and the other person is trying to warn them. And then you start to see all the red flags.
This is how every horror movie starts, where like Eric's like, guys, I'm telling you, there's a ghost in the house. And everyone's like, no. And then all of a sudden, everyone but Eric is getting murdered, and Eric is like the last one, and he manages to send the demons back down into hell or whatever.
No, I just compare this situation to a relationship. It's like, hey, everything is going good, you know? It's only one or two red flags, but hey, my brain's not distracted by it. I love them. I love everything about it. Everything is. And then next thing you know, things start to just slowly start to appear, more and more red flags, and the red flags is consistent. That's what it is. When it becomes consistent, is where it's like, oh Lord. So every time we mention a statue, something go wrong with technology. And most of the time, when something's wrong with technology, it's because somebody don't either know what they doing or it's a ghost messing with all the wires and stuff. Might know what he doing, so it's a ghost. It's the only other option.
How's this? Is the hum gone again? That's weird. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to Guitar Center and bring this piece of junk back and be like,
or maybe we need to get rid of the statue.
Replace it.
Replace the statue.
Oh, then Jordan, you're almost late. So you're gonna roll up. Oh, by the way, everyone, no show tomorrow.
Oh, I'm glad you told us that today.
Well, I had mentioned it a couple of days ago, but
oh yeah, tomorrow.
No show tomorrow.
Is something. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Father's Day.
Tomorrow's Father's Day.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are going to be busy anyway with Father's Day.
Yeah.
And it's just a good day for us to.
Is Rayanne in the comments? Somebody needs to tag Rayanne, because today is her daughter's birthday, and I was supposed to sing happy birthday, but she didn't get in the comments yet. So.
Oh, and you should clip the thingy to your thingy.
Clip the thingy to your thingy. Sure.
Well, this way the people can hear you talking. Heather Marie, that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that Julie doesn't hate us. Because I was trying. I could tell that she was a little frustrated. Sarah. Well.
For a sleep study.
Sarah, I just for personal reasons, I need tomorrow off. Is really what it is.
Sleep study. What, $200 for a sleep study? Hold on now. My sleep is worth $200? Is what you saying?
Wait, who's gonna sleep?
Because I don't even sleep. So if you want to put me on a sleep study, I am the wrong person.
Yeah, Jordan, we're in. Jordan, do we all get to go and hang out and like take a nap for $200?
As long as there's no cuddling.
Down.
But if there is cuddling, just make sure I'm the little spoon.
Well, no, as long as I'm not middle spoon.
Well, if there's three people, that's even.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, don't now.
Because if you put three spoons together, there's a middle. Like you open up the drawer to get a spoon out. There's a middle spoon. If
I said I want to be little spoon, not middle spoon. I gotta be little spoon to, I'm comfortable with All right, I don't even want to go into this again. But
Wait, I get to drive in a virtual simulator and get paid to do it? Bet. I'm down.
hey, look.
Yo, don't put that link in there. That's for everybody, Jordan.
Wait, hold on now.
Jordan's like, I just need 2 people.
I
Let
need
me put
four-
this link in here.
I
Now
need-
everyone's
hold
gonna
on now,
sign
Jordan.
up. And
Yeah, what the
now
heck?
you're gonna have Sarah sign up, and Sarah's husband's gonna sign up, and then they're gonna make $200 driving around in a fun.
Man, most of the
game.
people that's gonna sign it don't even know how to sleep. So
You have to stay up the night before and fill out a simple survey of how tired you are every 30 minutes. Holy moly. And then we will pay for your Uber into the office and then drive our GTA-style virtual simulator for 2 hours.
Damn.
So it's $100 for your hour. Oh, wait, is that... So it's only $100, but it's $200, or it's $200 that
Well,
includes
it's
the
for
driving time?
2 hours, I guess. Where's my lighter at? You got a lighter?
Yeah.
Who got a lighter? You know what that means. I'm about to get $200 to go to sleep. So I'm going to be hitting Jordan up soon. Y'all better not do it too. But yeah, it's the end of the show. We ain't got no guests no more. So it's time to go. Cause we don't want to talk to y'all no more. Oh, y'all thought we was about to go right now? I ain't even light up the smoke. Peace.